How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal in this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading whether the price is going up or down. Bitcoin miners will have the same rights as data centers, says new Arkansas bill. A new bill aimed at regulating Bitcoin mining in Arkansas has been approved by both the House of Representatives and Senators and is now awaiting Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' signature. No relation. The Arkansas Data Centers Act of 2023 seeks to establish guidelines for Bitcoin miners to protect them from discriminatory regulations and taxes, guaranteeing that firms have the same rights as data centers. So crypto mining will not be treated like some other third world industry like some other, like Texas and other states are doing, and Carolina. The legislation announces that economic value of data centers, recognizing that they create jobs, pay taxes, and provide general economic value to local communities, and they realize that the crypto industry does the same and provides that value. Data centers, digital currency, and blockchain technology are legal in all 50 states, and guidance for future industry growth is needed for Arkansas to protect Arkansans from fraudulent business practices, reads the document. While the bill mandates that crypto miners must pay applicable taxes and government fees using the right forms of currency, and must operate in a way that does not strain the public electricity grid, it also specifies that Arkansas government cannot impose unique requirements that are different than that on data centers. So this is great because, again, it won't be like Texas or North Carolina. And discrimination against digital asset mining business is prohibited, states paragraph 14-1-505 of the bill. The state of Arkansas has pulled off a surprise victory and became the first in the nation to pass the right to mine Bitcoin in both the House and the Senate. So congratulations. Every crypto project must reckon with the SEC's Howey tests. Nearly 5 years ago, SEC official Bill Hemden stood on stage at Yahoo Finance Crypto Summit in San Francisco and delivered a prepared speech that concluded that ETH is not a security. A footnote on the SEC's website clarified the speech is the express view of the author and does not reflect that of the commission, but it was nonetheless taken that way, and that is one of the arguments for the Ripple case. Hemden's speech, that's why the Hemden documents are a part of a key to the XRP case. Hemden's speech came just 1 week after the SEC Chair Jay Clayton said that the SEC does not view Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies as securities, and he said, "Where I would give you my money and you go off to make a venture, and in return for giving you my money, I say you can get a return, that is a security." So what he's saying is, what the old chair said is if it was a investment contract, like, hey, I'm going to give you $500, in return you're going to grow your company and give me $1,000, that is a security, not, hey, I'm going to give you $500 for your project so your project can grow and I'm going to see what becomes of it. But Gary Gensler, the current SEC chair and scourge of crypto builders, made it clear that he does not share this view and views everything other than Bitcoin as a security. One day after Ethereum completed its merge to become a proof-of-stake network, Gensler said that the native tokens of the networks using staking also look like securities, so now he had the opportunity to attack ETH, since investing in public is anticipating profits based on the efforts of others. So Gary, unlike Hinman, says that if you're relying on other people in order to get any kind of results, then that is a security, which almost falls into anything that you're not doing yourself. Hinman and Clayton are both long gone from the SEC and have moved to advise crypto firms. Gensler has cited to make the case that all of crypto falls under the SEC jurisdiction, even though last month, his counterpart of the CFTC said ETH is a commodity. So Gensler can't even agree with people that he's supposed to be talking with. And he used to run that CFTC, so you'd think he'd know what he's talking about there. Cardano might get new AI focus. This one's not really verified or very long. Charles Hodkinson, founder and chief executive officer of IHOK, blockchain startup, or Input Output, the HK is the Hong Kong version, startup in charge of Cardano, protocol has hinted that what they may focus on AI and start using like ChatGPT to revolutionize the world of medicine. So Hodgkinson may also be fueling or backing the development of dApps that can leverage the technology underpinning ChatGPT, dubbed LLMs or large language models. So the speculation is that Hodgkinson is going to make Cardano able to use AI or at least AI languages and possibly extend that into the medical field to help aid human life. So hackers robbed South Korean exchange of 13 million in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other assets. Hackers made off with roughly 13 million across a variety of cryptocurrencies after raiding the South Korean crypto exchange GDAC. So this is a really bad hack because an exchange got hacked. This is an example why you should check out our Crypto 101 Staying Safe playlist. Here we cover what different types of wallets are. We're going to cover that briefly in this article, but if you want more in depth, refer to that video. The incident occurred around April 9th when hackers targeted the exchange's hot wallet. Again, if you're not sure what a hot wallet is, refer to that video. The stolen assets represent 23% of GDAC's total holdings. Wemix is the native token providing the crypto network for this exchange, and Wemix said that it is closely monitoring the situation. For detailed information and updates on the incident, go to the official announcements made by GDAC. So they're saying watch them for any official announcements. Crypto exchanges use hot wallets to store a portion of their funds that are available for immediate withdrawals and trading activities. However, hot wallets also come with security risks. Contrary to cold wallets that keep assets offline, hot wallets are connected to the internet, meaning that if an exchange's hot wallet is compromised, it can result in significant financial losses for the exchange and its users. The company said it is collaborating with both domestic and foreign crypto exchanges and issuers to prevent the stolen funds from being laundered and to recover them. So they're working on getting people's funds. Moral of the story is, don't trust exchanges with your coins, not your keys, not your coins. So over on Bitcoin, we have a pretty good possibility of going up and down. We're going to cover that more on the futures when we get to that. But we have a gap here and a gap down here basically. So those two gaps can result in a 21% move up or about a 32% move down from here. So we're going to have to kind of watch. We have been saying that we would get a quick volatile move out of this golden pocket typically, which sometimes is preceded by a quick drop down from it. So watch out. We are forming a bearish divergence, as price is making higher highs and momentum is making lower highs. So we are forming a bearish divergence here. Stochastic's running up, money flow's running up, pretty strong, VWAP's running up, pretty strong, and our RSI is running up. All because we're above. Now we are also above this high value area on our value area fixed range profile, So being above the high value area means that you're likely to come back down if you don't start setting in volume here and building up that bullish momentum here. So if we don't start seeing on these lower time frames green candle closes here, and we start getting more red candle closes and you see more red bars start to fill in here, that could be a warning sign that we're going to start to drop. A little while ago, there weren't many red bars at all, so we are starting to get some of that red pushing us down. Our stochastic skin pretty tight. Our RSI looks like it could start to curl here. Again, we are above this area, so just be cautionary. But with that gap, we could keep moving forward, so keep that in mind. Our VWAP overall is coming down, we're kind of rounding off. Money flow is trying to cross into the bullish zone on the 4 hour. Not really that strong of a cross currently. If we can get a little bit more of a pickup, that would be a positive sign. But this could be a bit of a confirmation as we don't have a bullish cross on this 2 hour though. 2 hours managed to not get bullish crosses very often and very weakly as of lately. Our stochastic's kind of rounding off. RSI is kind of trying to head up, but with that stochastic rounding off, we could lose some momentum here. Momentum's kind of rounding out here. VWAP's starting to taper off and flatten out, so watch out for a bearish cross there. And watch out for this money flow. It is trying to cross positively, so if we do get a bullish cross over that neutral zone for the money flow, then that would be a bit of confluence with that 4 hour. Over on the 1 hour, we do have money flow crossover into the green. We've had that several times and just managed to flop over. That's one reason I don't really trust this cross right now. It looks like it could start to round off. Our VWAPs came up bullishly, but it's very weak. So our medium term VWAP could roll over from here. So that could be a signal we could drop. Our stochastic is trying to get a little bit of a bullish cross here, but our RSI is kind of curling away. Momentum's kind of flattening out. We did get that double red dot that didn't play out yet. We do have a green dot hiding there, so that did invalidate those. But just watch out if another one starts to form. We'll kind of have to watch. We are coming against, this isn't really a resistance, it's just more of a trend line. But if we don't manage to set up new volume here on that volume profile, like I said before, then it's likely we could start to drop. Watch out if that 1 hour money flow starts to roll over. The 2 hour could try to cross bullish. If the 1 hour keeps going the way it is, that will likely happen, and that could start to give the 4 hour some strength. So over on the futures, we are trying to run up to 30K, which is pretty natural since we're not very far away from it. We have created a new gap right here with this run up to 28K. So that if we do drop down and fill that gap, that could set us to fill this lower gap that we have at this 20K level, which is about 20K to 21K here. And we do have this gap up from quite some time ago when we initially broke down. We have a big gap here, and that's ranging from about 34.4 to 35.7. So with all those gaps, I think it would be likely if we do keep pushing, if we manage to push past 30K, set those profile volume on Bitcoin like I mentioned, we could possibly make a run to this 34K area. If we do manage to do that, then we could be set up to get like a really strong drop down. We do have this gap right down here, so that could bring us back down into this channel. And if we aren't able to get bullish momentum, if we come into this channel, it's likely we could also come back down to this channel and then possibly fill to the 34K from there. So those are kind of the two possibilities that I'm looking out for. Over on graph, we pretty much broke away from our pattern, so I got rid of our pattern that we've had. We still have this support resistance line as we've been respecting it quite a bit lately. Stochastic's trying to make a run up, RSI is trying to make a run up, momentum's trying to get a green dot, our VWAP's trying to head up, our money flow is trying to make a bullish cross over that neutral zone. So we are overall trying to push bullishly on the daily. We have a reversal arrow that could signal that we could get some bullish momentum continuing on from here, but that's not always the case. As you see, we had one here and then we fell. So I did say we had that yesterday where we had that green dot with the reversal. Sometimes you'll get that, you'll get a pump afterwards, and then you'll get a little bit of a drop. Sometimes you'll get a drop a little more instantly, so I'd be a little leery of that. Can't really find an example on this chart right now. Don't want to spend all night to find it. If you're curious, just turn on the Market Cipher A and Market Cipher B that we have. It's a free indicator, so you should be able to get it. Our money flow overall is trying to curl up, so that is a positive sign for us on the 4 hour. Momentum's coming up. VWAP is trying to come up, but somewhat starting to round off here. RSI is heading up pretty sharply. Our stochastic really doesn't have much more room to run, so it could start to flatten out here. So I'd say we look pretty decent for a continued move if we can break that and flash that bullish signal on the money flow, kind of like I said for Bitcoin. Over on the 2-hour, money flow's in the red, trying to come up. VWAP is coming down overall, but it's trying to head up currently. Our momentum is somewhat starting to round off, so I'd be weary of a red dot to print. Our stochastic's starting to round off, but our RSI is heading up pretty sharply. So that RSI might take a breather when that stochastic starts to bend down. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic somewhat starting to round off here. Our RSI is trying to make a move up, but it's getting kind of weak, starting to taper away. We are setting up a lower high on that stochastic, so stochastic's overall weakening, so that RSI could kind of roll over here, kind of like it did right there. Our momentum wave is kind of rolling over, so watch for that dot to form here. Our money flow did cross bullish, but didn't really cross too strong, and the VWAP and money flow are both kind of rounding off at the same degree or rate. So that's a little concerning. We'll want both of those to kind of pick up and curl away from that neutral area if we're going to continue some bullish momentum. But overall, we did get pretty decent percentage gains, so it's likely we could get a bit of a retracement from here. Over on ankr, we are hitting our high value area, kind of getting stopped out by it. Our money flow is trying to come up bullishly, but it's got a little ways to go yet. VWAP's trying to come up bullishly, got a little bit of a peak, but I want to see it to kind of pick up a little stronger. Momentum's kind of rounding off overall, but we are printing a green dot currently that could help bring us up. Our stochastic overall is falling, but is trying to make a bullish cross, and our RSI is trying to head up. This high value area could reject us down. If Bitcoin starts to retrace tomorrow, it's likely that we could fall away from here. We've got a pretty decent drop right there. Didn't like when I said that. Stochastic's starting to head up. RSI is kind of starting to curl off. Momentum's somewhat coming up pretty sharply, but with the way this wave is looking, it could kind of round, kind of like you see right there. Usually when the wave gets thicker, you tend to get your curl off sometime soon. Our money flow rejected crossing bullish on the 4 hour, and overall is heading down since then, so that's not a good sign for us, as that means that the bulls weren't able to create the trend of a bullish trend. That's usually what the money flow refers to, is what the trend is. So if money flow is red, we have a bearish trend. If it's green, we have a bullish trend. Over on the 2 hour, we could try to make a run to this resistance at 3 cents and 7/10 of a cent, however you want to say it. Money flow's rejecting from here. Our momentum's kind of rounding off. Stochastic's starting to round off and making lower highs, even though price is making higher highs. That's a little bit of a bearish divergence. Our VWAP overall is heading down and kind of stagnating here. So if we're not able to get some momentum and money flow here, we could drop off from here. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic is running up, trying to run up, make a bullish cross. RSI is trying to head up. Our momentum has a bearish divergence, but that's kind of getting invalidated with this green dot that printed, and our momentum's trying to come up. VWAP is trying to come up, but it's very weak, and our money flow is kind of sharply making an incline right here, trying to run up. We'll have to see if that can break that neutral zone, but overall, the bears do have control. Over on XRP on the daily, we are starting to break away from a triangle that I tried to map out before the video started, but apparently it wants to break out before I could show you guys. Money flow overall is coming up, momentum overall is going down, but we are getting a green dot, so with that money flow peaking bullish, we may be able to push up from here. Stochastic's kind of trying to make a bullish cross here. Our RSI is starting to point up, even though it doesn't have much strength. So if that stochastic can start to move up, that would be positive to give our RSI some more strength here. Over on the 4 hour, we are getting a green dot after we got a reversal arrow. Last time we got that set up, we dropped. So I'd be a little cautionary of that. Stochastic's making lower highs, even though price made newer highs, so that's bearish divergence. Our RSI is starting to curl. VWAP and momentum are starting to curl. Money flow is kind of rejecting away from making a bullish cross. So we would want that money flow to come up. We're going to have to see how the lower time frames look to see if that can happen. Over here on the 2 hour, we did try to reject bearishly the last couple candles after coming up bullish very weakly, and we are trying to head back up. So we do have slight bullish control here on the 2 hour, but it's not very strong currently. Our VWAP overall is heading down. Our momentum wave looks like it could curl off from here. Stochastic's starting to curl off, but our RSI is trying to head up. So most of our signals are starting to curl away and could look like we could get a bit of a retracement soon. Over on the 1 hour, momentum tried to curl off, but it's getting a little bit more momentum in, so we could eventually overall spill down. Stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross here. RSI is heading up overall, which is good. Money flow is heading up, but about the same rate as the 2 hour. I would like to see this to be a little stronger than the 2 hour to give the 2 hour more strength later. Our VWAP is heading up with the money flow cross though, so that is a bullish sign. If we can keep pushing up from here, then we could possibly get some more. Maybe we'll retest that 60-cent area that we broke away from, but we have quite a bit of a ways to go from there. We'll first have to get through this 53-cent we have marked. Last but not least, over on algo, we're kind of rejecting away from this point of control. Kind of flat, even though everything else got decent returns, aside from XRP and algo today. Stochastic's trying to head up, RSI is trying to head up, money flow's trying to head up, VWAP's trying to head up, and our momentum's kind of tapering off just above that neutral zone, so we look indecisive at best. We are getting a slight bottom pattern, not really the biggest candle, so it's not going to like shoot us to the moon or anything, but if it does break this point of control, our next stop would be the high value area. Over on the 4 hour, we're getting a little bit of a reversal arrow here, so I'd be a little cautionary. Money flow's not that strong. VWAP's heading up, but it's looking like it could start to curl off. Stochastic's heading up pretty strongly. RSI's heading up, but starting to curl away. Our momentum overall is heading up, but looks like it could start to curl off here. So I'd be a little cautionary on this 4 hour, depending on how these lower time frames look. The stochastic's kind of rounding off here on the 2 hour. RSI has a red dot and is trying to head up. Momentum looks like it is starting to kind of weaken. Our VWAP is losing ground, and our money flow rejected crossing bullish and is heading down. So overall, the bears look like they're starting to gain control here on the 2 hour currently. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic has a bullish cross and is trying to head up. RSI doesn't look too strong as it's kind of just rounding off, like limping along trying to go up. Momentum's kind of curling off here. VWAP is slightly coming up, but stagnating here with this money flow cross. We'd want it to come up a little more sharply, kind of like XRP was. So that VWAP could be signaling that we might taper off and start to round off here. We'll kind of have to wait and see if any patterns form. Lately, we've pretty much just been ranging and then getting like a quick move, and then ranging, just getting a quick move. We really haven't made too many clean patterns lately. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.